Picture this. You're sitting at a restaurant and the waiter comes over to you and says, "I'm sorry, but we can't serve you because too many people that look like you have already ordered today." You'd think that they'd lost their minds, right? Well, welcome to the labor market of South Africa today, 2025. Now, here's the thing that nobody wants to talk about. There are two completely different types of equality. There is equality of opportunity, where everybody gets the same chance, the same shot at success. And then there is equality of outcome, which means that everybody has to end up with the same or a predetermined result, regardless of effort, of skill, of circumstance, heck, even of preference in this case. One builds societies, the other destroys them. The Employment Equity Amendment Act is definitely not about giving everyone a fair chance. It is about guaranteeing specific results based on demographic mathematics. It's the difference between an inclusive environment where everybody gets a chance to run the marathon and demanding that the finish line results match up to a predetermined Excel spreadsheet. Yes, we're talking about second-hand segregation, my friend. Let me show you what equality of outcome looks like in practice. The Solidarity Research Institute actually crunched the numbers for us. And here they are. The government's demographics engineering will actually require 76,000 female healthcare workers to be replaced by men in the next 5 years. 65,000 education workers, female teachers, will have to be replaced by men in the next 5 years. The bane of South Africa's existence, apparently the white man, 70,000 white men will have to be replaced by men of other races throughout all sectors. This isn't transformation, it's musical chairs with people's livelihoods. But here's the beautiful irony. Nursing globally attracts 90% women. It's not because they're discrimination, it's not because of historical disadvantage, it's because women are naturally drawn to caregiving professions. Have a look at some studies in the Scandinavian countries where undoubtedly they've got the best gender equality anywhere in the world. Look at their professional distributions. The same patterns exist across teaching, social work, healthcare, and inversely in construction, in armed forces, across every culture, across every continent. But equality of outcome thinking treats these natural preferences like problems to be solved with regulatory, communistic force. Except that perhaps even communism wouldn't be this dumb. So now we're going to force 76,000 competent female healthcare workers out of their jobs to achieve a 50% male participation rate in a field that men simply do not choose to pursue in large numbers. And if they do, why not incentivize them and say, for the next 5 years, men studying nursing will study it for free. Men studying to become primary school teachers will be doing that for free. Is that not a better initiative? It's like forcing a jazz band to have an exactly equal number of every instrument and every player, and then give each of them a proportionate 2 beats per minute to play, and then wondering why the song sucks. Here are some facts that should terrify every one of us South Africans. South Africa's unemployment rate hit 32.9% in this first quarter of 2025. Youth unemployment rose even further still to a 62.4%. These aren't just statistics, they represent millions of people's lives, of their potential being sacrificed to demographic spreadsheets, to ANC stupidity. We have fewer VAT-registered businesses now than we did in 2009. We have lost approximately 3.8 million job opportunities, mostly job opportunities that would have gone to black South Africans, but let's not even draw that line. Near 5 trillion rand lost in our economy. And this is just in the last 10 years. This is not even since 94 or anything. We are going backwards, clear as day, while we're being preached to about progress and patience. The new regulations create 72 distinct employment categories with racial and gender quotas. The government denies these are quotas, they call them targets. But these targeted quotas must be met regardless of who actually wants to work in these fields or are actively working in these fields. These step into effect for any company that has 50 or more staff members. So one has to wonder, if you're a company of 47, 48, 49 members, would you consider expanding and dealing with this nightmare? Or if you're a company with 50, up to 55 employees, wouldn't you consider letting go of those 6 and skipping all of this bull? We are incentivizing economic stagnation. The current ANC regime would like to treat merit like it's a dirty word. In fact, they do treat it like it's a dirty word. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Merit isn't the enemy of equality or of quality of life. It is the engine of it. It's the driving force. Real equality of opportunity means ensuring that everybody has access to quality education, has access to skills training, has good infrastructure, has lights on and a pen and paper to be able to write with, to study with, has a good teacher to go to with their questions. It means judging people by their abilities so that they can develop themselves and their society, and not judging them by their ancestry, by their color of their skins, by their gender. And it means allocating your resources as a state and your agendas as a state to uplifting these peoples. So that's hard work. It takes a lot of investment, decades of investment in education, in opportunity creation. It takes long to accumulate the experience and the change necessary, but it's a new era. These opportunities can be all around us if we encourage economic development by any means, if we encourage cooperation between our peoples, and we all drink from the water. Isn't that better? So yes, we can perhaps give preferential treatment to certain quotas and demographic areas. We can boost infrastructure inclusively. We can boost development of education systems much better than we are. But no, equality of outcome is much easier, isn't it? Just shuffle the existing deck of hands. Tell every person on ship to go and work a role they are ill-equipped at, or in fact tell them to work no role at all and sit in the corner while the ship sinks. True transformation means building more universities, not racial quotas in existing ones. It means creating more jobs, not forcing out the 76,000 nurses currently in healthcare. Why not expand? Why not grow? Why hate the wrong gender, the wrong race? And black men are also not exempt from this, by the way. There are about 27,000 state workers that need to be replaced too. Why don't we just rather give remote access to Starlink in far off parts of our country, sponsoring education initiatives in every mother tongue community? We stand at a fork in the road, and the choice couldn't be clearer. One path leads to a society where everyone gets an equal chance, an equal shot, where we invest in lifting people up rather than bringing others down, where a brilliant kid from Soweto stands the same chance as the brilliant kid from Sandton. Not because we moved the kid from Soweto into Sandton, but because we improved Soweto, because the kid in Soweto has the same quality of school, of healthcare, of electricity and road networks, because we've built educational infrastructure there, because we've made opportunities possible, we've given every person his chance, her chance. Path 2 leads to where we're headed now, a society where 111,000 women, 70,000 white men lose their jobs, not because they're inept or incompetent, but because they have the wrong demographic profile. Where excellence is suspect and individual achievement is subordinate. One path builds nations, the others destroys it. This madness isn't inevitable. Every great injustice in history was overcome by the people refusing to accept this injustice. So let's go through a few steps that we need to go through. First off, understand the difference between equality of outcome and equality of opportunity. The one is justice, the other is mathematical tyranny. Second, support organizations fighting this legislative insanity. The DA's constitutional challenge and Sakeliga's legal efforts aren't just court cases, they're actual fights for our economic survival. Third, practice principled resistance. If you're a big company and you can pay the fines, rather take the fines. If you can find any loophole in these systems, exploit the loophole. If you can lag any process in the admin system as much as you ethically can, please do this. Sometimes the most moral thing you can do is to refuse to comply. Look at what we achieved with e-tolls, for example. Fourth, let's build alternative networks where we show that inclusive talent matters, that we're not just ticking boxes, but we're people who succeed based on what we contribute and what we want to achieve as a South African nation. Let's support local people. Me, 10 minutes with Kusle. That was something fantastic that I've found. Your local news and radio station. Go and shop local and employ people up until 40, I guess, because you never know when they're going to move the brackets down. We have a choice. We can continue pretending that this is going to make something good when we all know what's going to come if we allow this to happen. So let's choose number 2. Let's build a better South Africa and let's believe in our people and ourselves. We can do this.